Welcome to the March the 19th, 2002 taping of It Happened in Grand Prairie, as we bring you the history of our city and some of the people that have been important to that history, and some people that are continuing to make history today, and some that are in the Grand Prairie environs that are very important to us and to some of our wonderful projects. Today is such as the case. History tape number 452 takes us to the Vought Aircraft Industries Retiree Club and several of the members that are very key to that very important project. And we're so pleased to have on the dais today, first of all, Mr. Dick Atkins. Mr. Dick Atkins, welcome to the set, young man.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're just glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
It's wonderful to have you captive here behind the scenes, because you're usually out doing good things at another place, and today we have you because we have a nice rainstorm going for Grand Prairie today. We're glad we have you captive. Yes, and Mr. Jim Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Jim Hill.
Good to be here, Ruthie.
A longtime friend of Grand Prairiean, and absolutely very important to us because you gave us the key to what was happening at the Retiree Club, and all of a sudden this has bloomed into something very exciting, hasn't it?
It sure has, and we're proud to be here.
Wonderful. All right, Mr. Atkins, I'd like for you to look out into your camera primarily and tell us about the real Dick Atkins. What started you working for the company that you now are very important in the retiree group, and tell us just a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I came out of the Air Force in 1952. Didn't want to go back to my hometown and starve to death because there were no engineering jobs there, and found an ad in the Dallas Morning News. I was over in France and took the Texas papers and found an ad for engineers at Vought, and applied, and lo and behold, they hired me. I went into aerodynamics for a while, worked in the wind tunnel group, and after a couple of years went into the cockpit and equipment group, and spent the rest of my career involved in the design of cockpits and ejection systems. And had a delightful career because in that particular area of design, you work directly with people, with the pilots.
I see.
They're your most severe critics. And they're a lot of fun too. And so we spent a little short of 40 years there, and had a ball, jumped out of bed every morning and raced to work, and didn't want to leave in the afternoon. It was a marvelous company, marvelous people, a big family, and kind of the same kind of family we have now in our retiree club.
Oh, that is really great. And you spent all of those marvelous years there. Did you have a family?
Oh yes, got a family.
Better name your wife and children, or you're in bad trouble.
Yes, I have. If my wife sees me without mentioning her and the kiddies, I'll be in trouble. Wife of 57 years, 3 children.
You would give us her name or we'd be in trouble.
Yes, Marion, her name is Marion Lee Atkins, and I have a son and 2 daughters. Have 5 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. And I guess that's where the fun comes in, when you raise your great-grandchildren.
That's a heritage, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's a blast, absolutely.
Yes. And what year did you retire from?
Retired in 1990.
In 1990. And since 1990, we're going to leave you right here and get back with you in a few minutes. I got to find out a little bit more about Jim Hill, see.
Okay.
I'm going to bring him up. You're at your retirement stage in the sense of the word, but I believe you're an Arlingtonite.
Yes, ma'am. I'm an Arlingtonite.
That is forgivable.
Okay.
That does not mean we will not process you into Grand Prairie, because we're good at proselyting people, you know, back into to Grand Prairie, Texas.
Get citizenship, right?
Yes, good.
Yes.
That's it. All right. Mr. Jim Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you look out into your camera and tell us about a little bit about you and your association with Vought?
Well, it goes a little ways back. Me and Dick has a little bit of the same territory. I got out of the Air Force in 1951.
All right.
And went right to work for Chance Vought, which was part of United Aircraft at that time.
Yes.
In September 1951. Been out there 43 years. I have a wife named Adrienne Ann Hill. I have a son named Richard Hill. He's still at Vought. And I have a daughter, Melanie. And by the way, Melanie is in for a kidney transplant Friday And I had to bring that up.
Oh, yes, we
It's
do.
Melanie Richardson, and then I have a younger daughter named Kellyanne Harwick. I have 2 granddaughters. One of them 16 years old, and the other one 17 months old. And I don't have any grandkids yet, Dick.
Oh, my, but that's all right.
I worked in materials all of those years, and I finally retired in January 1993.
1993, they let you out of the cage. And
Just a little bit out of the cage.
Yes.
And I've enjoyed every bit of it, and I'd love to do it again.
And where do you live?
I live in Arlington. I did live in Grand Prairie in 1952 through 55, and then I got in so much money at Champs Vault, I had to go to Arlington.
I just had to go to Arlington. That's the way it goes. Oh, that's wonderful. And all of this time you've been commuting from Arlington?
Yes, I sure have.
Burning up the road.
Burning up the road. I love your Grand Prairie roads. They're a lot better than Arlington roads.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I will admit that
Yes,
very
ma'am.
readily. Okay, and of all of the things that you did in materials at Chance Vault, and it went through all the stages, what was the most exciting time of your life out there, Mr. Jim?
Well, there was a lot of them.
Yes.
There's a lot of good programs I was involved with. Pretty close to the ones we're involved with now, but I think the best, happiest time was the B2 program.
The B2.
As you know, one of the B2s come in here, the Spirit of Texas, and then actually it flew in here and landed out here at Dallas Naval Air Station. I guess it's about I'm going to say 97, somewhere like that.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
It sure is. It's a fantastic. And an old country boy out of the cotton patch come in to work on a B2 program is unheard of in those days.
That's wonderful.
I'd love to do it again.
All right. And now let's get back to Mr. Atkins. Would you tell us a little bit about the history of this Retirees Club? When did it begin, and then how did it spin off into something so exciting as you have now? And tell us a little bit about the program.
Well, in a little while you're going to be talking to Hank Merbler, who is really the architect of the Retiree Club. It began back in, I think I'm correct, 1996. And Hank put all the nuts and bolts together, put out the publicity, and the folks came in from all directions. And we hit the ground running. We had an annual meeting, which grew and grew.
Where did you
each year.
meet at this time, when you began?
When we began, well, we met at the annual meetings were in various places. The Arlington Convention Center, the
A lot of folks?
Yes, a lot of folks.
A lot of folks showed up?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
The racetrack at Grand Prairie,
Yes.
we met there.
Yes.
But it just, the old vault enthusiasm, once it got rolling, and once we began our projects, our website project, of course we had activities, which Hank will talk about, but
Okay.
activities for bus trips, all sorts of activities for folks, and then the website, and then restoration, and the folks just keep on
coming
rolling in because it's the old team again. We got
All
the family, the old Vault family.
I have a big question. Who was the important group or committee that went before the powers that be to all of the honchos of Vault and say, we need a place to meet on site where we used to work? Now, who started that and who brought that about?
Well, I think we're going to have to point to Mr. Merbler on
Okay.
that. Yes.
All right.
He was a wheelhouse
Hank's
on
the
that.
key to this thing.
Hank is absolutely the key to this.
Okay.
And he's a Yankee too, Ruth.
Yeah.
But you know that's forgivable.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's
Yeah.
been naturalized for a number of years.
That's
Yeah.
great. And so he went to the powers that be, and are we going to let him talk about what happened, what brought all this about, and
Yes.
what all you have gained by that?
He's the expert on that, absolutely.
He's that.
yes.
All right, now I want to talk with you about the things that you do. You're the collector, you're the historian. What are you looking for?
Well, basically, I have my task is twofold. One, I'm the project manager for the website, Vault, www.vault.com, the biggest and the best website on the tube, aviation or otherwise. It's absolutely magnificent. It's about a couple of thousand pages. Takes you about 12 hours if you went through, but it's a total history of our company. And then in order to develop that, I'm also the manager of the data center, where all the information comes in. We have a library.
It's all fed in through you.
Yes, and we have Yes, that's why whenever you bring a box, I'm excited.
I brought a box.
Oh, yes.
Did you see the big box?
Yes.
I don't think Lewis can get a picture of that box till we get ready to leave, but we ought to have a picture, because I've got some real prime key photographs and data there for you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. My motto is don't ever throw anything away, throw it to me.
That's it.
I'll take care of it.
That's wonderful.
We have, and because of the generosity of, again, the generosity of Vaught and Northrop Grumman before them, they gave us a terrific facility, and I have just about all, believe it or not, you seldom admit you've got enough space.
Yes.
But I'm going to admit with the recent acquisition of a room, I have enough space to put my documents, motion picture film, video, and microfilm together accessible. But I also have to point out that I have a tremendous team. I've got the most fantastic retirees.
They're volunteers.
Volunteers.
You need more.
Absolutely, I need more.
This is begging time. You better beg
Yes,
right into
I'm begging. I need writers. You don't
Okay.
have to be an expert writer. Just come out and write something for me. We'll take care of the editing, the polishing. But if you happen to be an editor, we'll put you to work too. Researchers.
All right.
You know, in any element of the historical realm, we need help in.
Okay. All right. Now, I need one more minute with Mr. Jim Hill. Mr. Jim Hill, what do you do when you go out there? Anything that you want to?
I'd
or
like to
what?
brag a little bit on the other side of the fence. We
All right.
also, in the restoration business, we have an A7B that we've reconditioned completely, ready to go in a museum. It's a beauty. We have a RF-8G that we got out of Tucson, Arizona. We have a fighter, RF, it's not an RF, it's an FHU-2 that we got out of Pate Museum down here at Crescent. And then we have a Regulus 2 missile that come out of Hartford, Connecticut. And I was involved a little bit with all of those articles, and we're now trying to get the Flying Pancake, which is a V-173.
You have 1 minute to look out and beg for volunteers to come out and help you do what you're doing in that restoration.
It's going to take more than a minute, but I'll give it a shot. We need all the help we can get, expertise help. We come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 o'clock till whenever you want to go home. We have coffee and donuts. We have a lot of BS that's going on out there at the same time. But there's also work to recondition these airplanes and missiles into museum quality that we can all be proud of and put in a local museum soon.
All right, Mr. Adkins, how do we get in if we're not a member of the Vaught Retiree Club and we want to come in and help anyhow? And we did work out there, so what's the process,
Well,
quickly?
Basically, you need to call the club, 817-972-4054. And that's our retiree office, primarily on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Talk to the ladies out there, and they will put you in touch with either one of our active projects, and they will tell you exactly what the process is for getting in. It's very easy.
Get to be a member of the
Have to be
Retiree
a member.
Club is the
Yeah.
key, isn't it?
Yeah.
But let me help you just a little bit here, Ruthie. You can come to the guard gate there at the front gate and tell him that you're a retiree. Doesn't matter if you're Timco, Vaught, LTV, or whatever, and he'll help you get inside the plant to do what Dick is saying. We need to have a picture badge like this, and it's dated for 1 year at a time. This will get you in. You can park out there with us, and you can leave and come and go as you please.
Oh, that just sounds like wonderful.
We need to badge you first.
Even after September the 11th,
Yes.
it's tough to get in, isn't it?
Little tighter than it was. Security's tight, but if you want in, we'll get you in.
Right.
All right.
Absolutely.
We need you in.
All right.
We need you.
Both of these guys are begging now. They need volunteers doing all of the good things they do, and if you want to know what they do, just call that magic telephone number that he gave us, that 817-972-4054.
Let me straighten you out. It's 972-946-40.
I'm giving the old number from 2 years ago.
Okay,
Thank you.
You bet.
let's get this straightened out. It's 972-946-4054.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a magic number to call
Yeah.
when you want to help or volunteer.
Yes, ma'am. Please
Well,
call
Please call.
soon.
All right. I want to thank y'all for, I need to do about another hour or so. We may have y'all back in a few days or a
Terrific.
few weeks and bring us up to date after we see what's going on out there, okay?
And remember, Ruthie, this is not just Chance Vault or Vault Aircraft or Vault Retirees. It's Timco, LTV, Chance Vault, United Aircraft, all of the, Northrop Grumman's even part of it since they retired out there. It's all of us.
Ex-Timco employees, we need you.
Now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That was perfect. We'll be right back with the rest of our show.
Okay.
Y'all stay right you are. As we continue our Vault Aircraft Retiree Club, we have two very special young people here today to finish our interview. And we're so pleased, first of all, to introduce Hank Merbler. Hank, we're glad to catch you and put you on this set today, young man.
Ruthie, my pleasure. My
Yes,
pleasure.
that's great. And Gary Brown. Gary,
Ruthie, nice
welcome
meet
to
you.
the dais today, young man.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to continue talking about Vault Aircraft retirees, and I understand that you are the guru of all of the things that caused all of this to happen. Tell us, first of all, before you tell us about making these things happen, something about the real Hank Merbler.
Well, I'd like to go back to 1941.
All right?
I became an engineering trainee with Wozakowski in Stratford, Connecticut
Yes.
on the 24th of March, 1941.
Yes.
And in 1948, I moved to Texas. I came as fast as I could.
Yes.
And
With a
have
north
been-
wind behind you.
Oh, of course, but
Yes.
of course. And I think I can proudly say I worked on 39 different model Vought aircraft types.
Yes.
I started engineering, I went to quality control, I went out into the shop, and I retired in 1982. That's 20 years ago, and it's been a delightful career.
And
I have a wife, Beatrice Irene. I have 3 sons, John Henry, Kenneth Joseph, and Richard Bruce.
all right.
And these guys are now spread around the country. One in Dallas, one in Garland, and one kind of floats around between Chicago, San Francisco, and Winter Park, Florida.
And wherever. Do any of them give you any grandchildren?
Yes, we have, let's see, 3 grandsons, 2 granddaughters.
Oh, yes. That's a good start.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I'm very proud of them.
Wonderful legacy.
Very proud.
Yes.
Wonderful family.
All right.
Love them all.
And when you retired in 1982, that's a long time ago. What you been doing with your life since then?
Well, the first thing I did, Ruthie, was I became a consultant.
All right?
And I consulted for Vought and some other aircraft companies. And then I kind of retired, and I went fishing and golfing. And I was getting pretty good at golf, and I was catching fish. And then came the dawn, the 20th of February, 1996. Margot Parker called a mess of retirees together, about 800 of us, at the Arlington Convention Center, and she said, a challenge, establish a retiree club.
Good.
And I thought, well, okay, it's another social club. I can play golf and go fishing and have some retiree club time too.
Dream again.
Right. Well, that was the 20th of February. By the 18th of May, and I happen to remember these numbers, and I can't remember my birthday sometime. But anyway, by 18th of May, we had established a bona fide club with officers and directors, and I happened to be the president, first president from the inception, the 18th of May through the year 2000.
Oh, that is wonderful. I'm going to leave you at the year 2000 with the retiree club begun. But I've got to get right here to Gary a little bit and find out his connection with all of this. And Gary, would you look out into your camera and tell us about the real Gary Brown?
Yes. Well, I'm a new retiree in 2000. So I've just been retired a couple of years now and starting my 3rd year. But I'm one of the younger set
Yes.
of the retirees. I again came to LTV, Ling Temco Vought, in 1990 to help them during their Chapter 11 days.
Yes.
And the old aircraft company. And I started my career at General Dynamics Convair in San Diego, California in 1960. And I live over in Mansfield with my wife Kitty and my son Jesse. And he's too young to have children since he's not married, so
That's right.
we're happy with that.
Yes, you are.
And but I am the director for chapters and offsite chapters, and my responsibility is to help establish chapters in the states outside of Texas, as well as help to establish chapters outside the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Oh, that is
So
wonderful.
what we're trying to do is to involve some of the people who retired, who have left the Metroplex, so that they can feel part of the Vought family.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're bringing them in from afar. That is
Yes, ma'am.
great. That is wonderful. All right. Now, Hank, about this site that you have out at Vought now, where you can go in and play around in a hangar. So tell us how all of that came about, please.
Initially, Margot Parker is our sponsor from the very beginning, page one. Our tremendous supporter. I can't be enough in my thanksgiving to any one person beyond Margot.
And what does Margot do?
Margot is the Vice President of Human Relations and Administration.
Okay.
An outstanding woman
Yes.
with such drive, and she drove us and keeps driving us and keeps leading us. So taking her lead, we first began in a clubhouse that was all of about 8 by 10. It was a room in a basement.
Uh-huh. That wouldn't do.
And we now have graduated to something like about 30,000 square feet.
That's it.
About half of that is office space, and the other half is aircraft restoration. I am now the chairman of major programs, and these programs are the website and restoration.
Okay.
Dick Atkins is our leader in the website, and Bill Michele is the leader in restoration. Both are excellent leaders, and we have done a tremendous job in restoring our heritage. And I'm very proud of what has been done. And since we're talking about Temco people, we need some Temco insight into their heritage, bring it into our heritage. We are one, really. Come join our club and be one of us to restore or work in the website program.
Yes. So you're begging too?
I'm begging too, yes.
All right. I think that's wonderful. And Gary, is there any help that you need in the establishment of these units outside of the Metroplex?
Yes, I think, Ruth, thank you. I think that some of the retirees who might be watching from Temco or Vought or any of the companies that have been associated over the years, we need leadership that can establish something outside the Metroplex. So those people who know others who live further away from here, who might want to be interested in a chapter, could contact us through the Vought Heritage Club.
Many of them have moved to the lakes around
That's
in the
correct.
surrounding territories all over the state of Texas. You need some lakeside movement, don't
Yes,
you?
ma'am.
Oh, that'll be good. All right. Hank, what else do you need? You've gotten a way for us to get into the building. How much does it cost for me to become a member of the Vought if I have been an ex-employee?
If I recall correctly, our membership is all of about $5 a year.
Uh-huh.
And you need to
Last
pay
of
that
the-
at the beginning of the year, please. Now, we have in excess of 2,000 members.
All right.
And one of the problems that we have continually is, did I pay my dues? We have senior moments.
Yes.
So we need to be reminded, yes, we did, no, we didn't.
Well,
But all it takes is a $5 bill per person, and you can participate. And last time I calculated the dividends, it's something in the order of 3,000% return. You put in $5 and you get something like 3,000%. Wouldn't that be nice to have on your investment?
yes, it would. Also, wouldn't it be exciting if you ever came up with a figure for a life membership that could be prorated over a certain amount of years. In other words, if you're 65 and above, get a life membership for $500, and then they don't have to. If they have either Alzheimer's or part-timers, and that's what I have every now and then, then I would, if I could pay my dues up for a lifetime, I think that would be acceptable.
Well, Ruthie, you bring up a point that we had not discussed.
Okay.
But I assure you, now that you have mentioned it, we will consider that. I think that's an excellent approach because we're always looking for more funding.
Yes, and you don't want to send out a 34-cent stamp to remind someone that they
True.
pay a $5 dues.
Right.
Yes, and I think that would go over very well under our circumstances.
Now, in the club, I report to the president, and the current president is Don Higginbotham.
All right, and do we need to know him? Is he important enough for us to get in touch with him every now and then?
I think you should, yes.
Okay, and I believe you're getting ready to have a big luncheon pretty soon. Do you know anything about that? I got an invitation to something,
Ribs.
the Catfish Sam's or
On the
something.
27th of March,
Okay.
we're going to Catfish Sam's on Division Street in Arlington,
Okay.
the great big city of Arlington.
And to get in, you have to be a member.
You need to be a member of the
And then
club.
buy your own cotton picking lunch, right?
And then buy your lunch.
Okay.
But the camaraderie is second to none.
Oh, yes.
Anyone that has attended one of these can't wait until the next one.
Yes.
It's exciting. We talk about all the problems of the day. We talk about our children. We talk about things we have done over and over and over. And it's delightful. It's a wonderful time.
Yes. And do you attend all of these too, Mr. Brown?
Oh, yes, we all do it. Again, as Hank says, it's a great time to renew relationships and also to check up on things that have been going on.
I'd like to know who is in charge of keeping up with the list of the production people that you need to restore all of the things that you say that you're going to restore. Is there a person, or do they call you, Hank?
No, we maintain a log. We have two ladies, Ann Brashears and Claire Richards, I believe.
Just call that magic telephone number that we
Just
have
call 972-946-4054.
here. Okay, and they'll get
We
you.
maintain lists of all the people
Yeah.
that participate. And currently, in the website, we have expended in excess of 25,000 people hours.
Yes,
And in the restoration, we are approaching 25,000 people hours.
at $100 an hour at least, and the kind of work they do.
150. Our
150.
bottom rate is $150 an hour.
$150 an hour.
And the only reason we come out is to have fun. So Temcoites, if you want to have fun, come out. Now, in previous interviews, I heard the word work. It's not work.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun, fun, fun. And if you don't enjoy it, don't come.
Yeah.
But if you want to have fun, if you want to have relations that we have talked about in the past, if you want to participate in restoring aircraft or participating in a website, come. And once you do come, I guarantee you will be smitten just like the rest of us. You'll come over and over and over. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Start about 9 o'clock and then leave shortly after lunch. You want to beat the traffic in the morning, beat the traffic in the night, and have fun.
And it's a disease, and that's all right.
Yes, that's fine.
Because we don't want anything to ever happen to all of the retirees. We're going to go on and on and on. I want to thank y'all so much for the interview.
Thank you, Ruthie.
You bet. And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do.